they would melt eventually. The water will start to eat into here. So here another huge formation. They claim it's ice and snow, but we don't know that. Okay, so yeah, it might be cold in Antarctica. We don't know the temperatures over there. And when you look at these people, it looks a little bit cold, but it doesn't look too cold, right? You know, they don't have any face coverings and stuff like that. They have a jacket on, and it doesn't look too cold. And when you just see the formation here, it looks very similar to what we have seen before when we see melted buildings, but this one has a different state of matter for some reason. You know, this area was struck maybe a little differently. You see the top and stuff. Is this a natural formation, or is it a crystallized melted building? You can see melted buildings here as well, more so-called mountain-like, but this one looks like this. Is it cold? Is it frozen? Is it ice? Or a melted building? And here, sorry again, you see they look very buoyant because they float in the water, as you can see, very light. But again, this little thing here, that's not too large, and this one would melt in the water after, you know, I don't know, a couple of days or something, right? Who knows how long it would take, but still, you can't have stuff like this just floating around. So maybe it's not ice, maybe it's just buoyant, crystallized, melted building pieces floating around here. And in the background you see the formation here, looks similar to block lines as we have seen many times before. And this one over here, you see something here, could be apertures, a mangled archway. You see underneath here the shape of everything, pancake brick lines. There's a big reason why we can't go there, right? Why if it isn't as cold as they claim, and what if it's too obvious that these are not icebergs but in fact buildings? So here you have another one with classic melted buildings in the back, and some of them looks like this. Just gonna show you some pictures real quick, and you have to say in the comments and stuff what you think after you see some of this and after doing some research yourself. So here you have these formations. This one looking very square-like. How can icebergs just form these square-like structures like this? And this one looks more like a cylinder tower, more like the Devil's Tower, for example, right? And here you see this triangle roof-like structure, and it was sinking on itself a little bit down to this way, it looks like jelly, and just falling over a little bit. So there is this, yeah, with more so-called mountains in the back. And then you have this one, and here this is a classic one of these archway bridges we have seen plenty of times before. And you see the formation itself, the shape, this thing sticking down in the water. Water is not digging into it like it should if it was ice, but if it's a crystal, then that won't happen. And here another structure, you see archways, and the top of it looking very building-like, maybe an aperture over here, archways. Just looking at the formation, looking similar to what we have seen plenty of times. And here, this one is very interesting, caught my eye. How is this a natural so-called iceberg, right? Because you have this archway, you have some kind of structure sticking up here. We have seen similar stuff before in Scotland and whatnot, and you can see kind of the square structure on the top, brick lines, apertures, and how the heat came up and started to mangle it, like we have seen on the so-called mountains. It's the same features here. Rock curtain coming down layer after layer. How can this sit in the water for years and years and years and never melt? Look at this one. How come the water don't dig into it? Food for thought. I just want to share this. I'm very new to it as well. I think Mark was the one who brought it up. He's been onto it for a while, and I never really thought about it. And as you know, it's so many lies, and the programming is heavy. And when he presented this stuff and Spartan, he showed pictures and explained it. I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Everything is a lie. So how can? So what's the reason icebergs and glaciers can't be a lie? And how we have the Antarctic Treaty, etc. We can't go there really, because yeah, you see structures like this, very square-like, as a building usually are. Archway here. How can icebergs and glaciers make icebergs? You have more openings here, apertures all over the place. And here another crystal structure. See the texture on it. Is this natural ice, or has it been crystallized? See, you have the buildings here still. And again, not saying it's not cold there. It could be snow here, or this could be the same as this, right? We can't go there to see, but this one as well, this would melt in a, you know, if this lays in the water, it will melt during I don't know, a week or something, right? And then it would be gone. But that's not what's happening. Stuff like this floating around. What if it's not ice? What if it's not cold? What if it's just buoyant crystallized pieces of building floating in the water? And here, of course, you have the penguins, and you have apertures. This one looking like it's sunk down to the left a little bit, and here looks like you have more apertures, more penguins chilling. And here a piece again floating in the water, just looking at the shape of it, and of course the texture is this ice. Looks like stuff we have seen on the melted buildings, same texture. And in the background you got this, and the top very square-like, very straight here. Very straight, another hole here. More archways, apertures over here as well. I am gonna look more into this and show more photos in the future. I just want to get it out there now, so you guys can do the same and look into it and share what you think in the comments and whatnot. So you got this structure here with something here, remnants of an aperture, got more up here maybe, and archway, here as well, very straight, square looking, and same with this one. Is this a natural iceberg or a crystallized melted building? Brick lines, possibly at the top, layer after layer of rock curtain, and then crystallized. And then you have this. How can glaciers and icebergs shape something like this? Right? So you got some lines here. And this taller one over there, looking exactly like a so-called mountain. Just chilling in the water for years and years and never melting in the water. And here, this one tipped over, and you see, of course, what looks very similar to brick lines. Up at the top, I got more stuff in the background. You got some kind of archway, double archway here with a column between. This column isn't that massive, so you know this one should melt fairly quickly when it's in direct contact with water. So then again, when you hear about this ice wall, etc., in Antarctica, what if it's not an ice wall? What if it's crystallized melted building wall? See here, all this stuff floating around. Buildings, possibly. And here, archway, archway, archway. And what else can we see? Let's zoom in a little bit, see if we can see faint brick lines up here to the left. At the top, really. And here into it. Huge archways here. How can icebergs form this? Natural formations, block lines. And here as well, archway. And it's just sitting here. Look at the texture of this. Looking very mangled. What do you guys think? Here as well. Underwater. This one floating in the water, and this looking like viscous holes. You know, square-like, mangled of course. And this features here identical to what we have seen with the melt flow lines down here. And here as well, looking very much like a structure with an aperture. Just looking at the shape of it. Blue crystallized buildings. See here. This is what they call blue ice and whatnot, but what if it's just a very large crystal? Here as well. Blue crystal or ice. As you can see, water don't melt into it like it should. Even if it's very cold, the water is still warmer because it's not frozen. This one is, so it's natural that the water should start to dig into this, but we don't see it. Was this an aperture here? Filled out and crystallized? And the background, normal melted buildings. Another weird formation, archways, crystallized archways. Right? What do you think, guys? Melted building? Crystallized? Or natural formation icebergs? We are not allowed to go there. More formation here. Looks like melted buildings tipped over to the right here. You see the angle of this whole thing here. Aperture here. Mangled. I'm not sure. And here as well. See the features, the texture, the holes, crystallized lines in it here, brick lines, block lines, crystallized. A lot of stuff in the water, a lot of stuff floating around. Is it snow and ice? Or is it something else? You have this formation here. This one. Again, I'm fairly new to this, so I don't know everything. I'm still researching it, but I'm just getting it out there so you can see for yourself. See this huge formation here. Just showing you the photos so you can think what you think. And here, looking very building-like, looking scorched here. Right? This looking like a tower, maybe apertures here, the roof here. Brick lines, block lines. Down here at the water. And here as well, these features here looking similar to what we have seen plenty of times with the block lines, brick lines cooked into block lines. Maybe apertures here. Here as well. Looking at the texture, just looking at it, and the programming is a little challenging here when you look at this and think, what if it's not ice? But what if it's not ice, right? We gotta challenge every aspect of this reality and everything we have been told. So they lie about everything else. So do you think they're telling the truth about Antarctica and how this is ice melting down, getting mangled, looking very similar to what we have seen before? And this one is one of the more interesting ones, because you have all these column looking things in a row here, very evenly spread out at the same height the whole way, with some kind of arch here, with some kind of what could have been some dome here, I don't know, but still, how is this a natural formation? How, and how come it doesn't melt? See here, they are all at the same height, and you have this line here going all the way through, another line here, and at the bottom all the way as well. Are these columns on a crystallized building. See the texture? Or is it a natural formation? Similar thing, looking like columns, looking like block lines. Another weird structure here. You see this very straight line going over here. And as they say, there is no straight line in nature. And then crystallized. Is this ice dripping down, or is it the melt dripping down like in a cave? And again, I'm not saying it's not cold there, but is it that cold? How much would it take to freeze the ocean? And of course, we have seen irrigation systems still running, and they will claim this is snow melting, flowing down, but this is like the lakes and the classic features we see all the time.